We have been playing Rise of Kingdoms. The game has been out for what, 7, 8 years? And through the years, we have had some amazing commanders, like amazing commanders with crazy longevity. The stuff that they did, they were so unique. Commanders still relevant today. And this has always come up. Like, we always have fun debates about this. Who are the top 5 greatest commanders ever in Rise of Kingdoms? Well, we're going to talk about that today, because I'm not only going to tell you what I've got, I want to know what you've got. So stick around while we go through all of this when it comes to the top 5 commanders to ever grace the game of Rise of Kingdoms with their presence. Hey everybody, it's your boy War Daddy Chansky. I love doing videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time. And these are fun videos to do because this is always a fun debate. And I want this to be a debate. If you guys like these videos, throw a thumbs up on it, give it a like, helps out the video a ton, and the algorithm and the channel and all that fun stuff. Also, speaking of the channel, you can subscribe. Does not cost you a thing. And you can join the whole crew of people who have jumped in on this community. Also, we're in the middle of our video giveaways for the month of May, and for every video I give a $10 flux. I choose a random comment. All you got to do to enter to win is put a comment down in the comment section, and this is a video that's going to get a ton of comments because I want to hear your top 5 from everybody watching. Okay, so from our previous video, I'll have a card in the top. This went through the best 2 marches for each troop type. That was the previous video that I did. Our boy Sylvan, thank you, Chadsky. My 2 inf is going to cook now. Hey, yo, you're welcome, buddy. You win the $10 flux. And again, if you want to enter the $10 flux giveaway for the next video, put the comment down below. Okay? Well, listen, guys, we have had all kinds of commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Like, all kinds. Like, I've got an affinity for Richard, okay? Zeno. There are players that have joined the game over the last 3 years who have no idea about Zenobia and what she did for so long. There are commanders everywhere. Gosh, Nevsky. You got Gorga, who's now been in the game for nearly 3 years. Like, we're going on a while. You've got OGs like Mehmed and Frederick. You got Mulan. You got all these guys and gals who have been in the game for a long time. Well, I'm going to rank this, and I'm going to rank this by a little bit of historical figure, just a little bit, but more importantly about their impact on the game, how long they lasted. There's going to be a nostalgic factor to this, and we're going to go through this all. And then I want to hear from you guys what you think your top 5 commanders of all time in Rise of Kingdoms has been. So with that, I'm going to pull this thing up. Hey, yo, top 5 commanders, greatest commanders of all time. Now, you'll see at the bottom, I've got an early game nostalgic, okay? Now, I'm not going to show you who I've got down here, but I'm going to go ahead and put some of these up here. First and foremost, Sun Tzu. Guys, anybody who's played Rise of Kingdoms, you know Sun Tzu, one of the greatest commanders. He's still, to this day, I am playing the early game on my 4028 account. Sun Tzu is in the field. He's going to be in the field for K1 and K2. He is such a good commander as an epic, okay? He's like the OG, man. He's the OG. 5 target AoE damage, all right? And he does a ton of damage. It doesn't mitigate. He gains rage. He's got a little bit of Genesis to the now the Sun Tzu Prime, who does kind of the same stuff, but he does it in a different way. But this dude, nostalgic, we all love him. People ask me all the time, who's the best KVK1 commander? And it's like, Sun Tzu, easy. You can put him in the garrison. You can run him in the field. He's fantastic. He's the best epic commander you can get in the early game that will actually do things for you for K1 and K2. So there's a little nostalgia there on the early game with Sun Tzu. Hey, yo, there you go. Also, I've got Joan up here. Joan is the OG buffing commander, like the OG buffing commander. If y'all forgot, okay, Joan, like, insane. Absolutely insane with her buff. Like, look at this thing. Infantry gains 30% health, cavalry gains 30% defense, archers get 30% attack, and all the troops gain an extra 50 rage per second. And it lasts 4 seconds. Like, that's crazy. Like, Joan, even to this day, people use her to buff their rallies in KVK or buff their marches like in Lohar arms training and things like that. Like, she is still used today to buff that rage. It's just crazy what Joan has been, okay? So she's got some early game nostalgia. Who else do we have here? I've got Caesar, like Caesar and CC, okay? These two commanders are like, they're like the... How do you say this? They're like the icons of the game. And the reason why is because so much of the game revolves around those two. And when I say that, it's the imaging of the game, the branding of the game, everything revolves around CC. CC is like the NBA figure for the NBA. Everybody knows that's Jerry West. That's like CC for Rise of Kingdoms. Any little avatar used to open the game or to do the app or anything like that has this dude's face on it, okay? So he naturally has some nostalgia. People still use CC even today. He's part of the fastest march you could use in ARC and Osiris League, okay? So he deserves an honorable mention here as an early game nostalgia commander. And then in addition to that, we got to do Caesar. Caesar's like the OG, like one of the original conquering commanders, great commanders in the game. Where is my Caesar? And you can use Trap City, still use Caesar to today. He's got one of the coolest buffs where he does 30% more damage for 5 seconds. Like, he's almost good enough to put meta commanders behind. Almost. Not quite there, but almost. And he's great. You can even run him like 5-1-1-1-1, and you have a bunch of troops in a Trap City and get people to swarm you, and this dude will do damage. It's crazy. But he is also one of the best when it comes to the branding of the game, the imaging, and all that stuff. And so Caesar definitely gets his due as well in the early game. So there you go for the nostalgic early game. You kind of got the brand guys here. You got an OG Joan, which is amazing, and Sun Tzu. Okay, honorable mention. Hey, yo, let's talk about honorable mention here. Now, these are commanders that had massive impacts, okay? And there's going to be different ones that have, different types, whether it's garrisons, rallies, or field, or different things like that. And first and foremost, I've got to put William the Conqueror here. Okay, number one, William has been in the game for a long time, guys, a long time. Let me just show you when I actually got my William. It was so long ago. Let me see here. Let's see, this is 2021. Okay, he's literally approaching almost 5 years of being in the game. And it might be more than that. I can't remember if I got him and immediately got going with him, but William was great synergies with Saladin back in the day, and then people still ran him with Nevsky up until a couple of years ago. And even to today, when we got Arthur, William became a great rebirth. He's one of those commanders that got one of those rebirths. So he has been in the game. I've got a ton of kills with him, 124 million kills. I have used him a ton. He deserves some credit as an honorable mention as one of the best commanders we've ever had in Rise of Kingdom. So there's William. We appreciate that dude. The next one is Zeno. Okay, anybody that has joined the game over the last 2 or 3 years, you have no idea who Zeno is. Okay, let me enlighten you. Zeno, she's like the reason why we have rock, paper, scissors today in Rise of Kingdoms. Okay. And when I say rock, paper, scissors, she's the reason why we have it to where a garrison for archers can come out and beat an infantry rally. Then a cavalry rally will beat the garrison for archers. And then an infantry garrison will beat the rally for calves. And then an archer rally will beat the garrison for infantry. And then a cavalry garrison, a cavalry garrison will beat the archer rally. It's rock, paper, scissors right now. And she's the reason why. This woman right here, the reason why we have never had a garrison commander be the, not just part of the meta, she was the absolute meta in Rise of Kingdoms for multiple years. She was the original Attila killer, right? Attila was dominating everything when he came into the game. She was designed to beat Attila, but they made her way too powerful Like, wait, you go back into her skills, y'all, and it's still like, oh my gosh, like this is going on like 5 years ago. When did she come into the game? Like, she's still like, I think I got her even late because I was a Cav player, but she's been in the game for like 5 or 6 years. And she was incredible. And you could run her with YSS and mixed troops. Literally could run her with YSS and mixed troops. All kinds of mix. And I'm not talking about, yeah, we want like 80% infantry in mix. No, you could run her with like anything. With why it was so overpowered. Like, we went through all the different rallies, okay? All the different rallies back in the day. Let me show you. Okay, when it comes to the conquest, let me see. Pakal came into the game. It got absolutely wrecked, all right? Tommy got wrecked. Nebu couldn't bring her down, couldn't bring down Zeno. Harold couldn't bring down Zeno, okay? Honestly, Chandra, when he came out, couldn't bring down Zeno, okay? It was so good. I mean, just insane what that thing did. And finally, of course, we talk about Attila. Attila couldn't bring her down. People forget that Guan's a conquest commander. Obviously, he's not bringing her down. And then finally, they gave us this dude right here. And Gilgamesh broke her. Finally broke her. Okay? But it took... Gilgamesh didn't come into the game until like, let's see, August of 2021. So Zeno had been in the game at that point and dominating for at least 2 years. 2 years of meta. Like, there's nothing anybody could do. Zeno was just it. And that was all anybody ever ran. It was so hard to burn flags back then. You didn't have strong enough marches to swarm stuff. And it was just impossible. You go back to some of the old content creator videos, and it was absolutely insane what Zeno could do. You put good infantry gear on her, but it didn't matter. You could run her mixed with YSS. It was crazy. So you got to put some respect on her name. For those of you who don't know, now you know. She was the absolute, she was like the Beatles. Okay? She was like the Beatles of garrisons. She held the #1 spot for longer than anybody. And it like wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. There were no other garrisons that could even hang. No other archer garrisons, no other cavalry garrisons, and you just couldn't hang. So Zeno gets her respect there at the honorable mention level. Also, because of Zeno, you throw in YSS. YSS still even used today. Like, some people still run the Hera YSS. And I've got Hera up here as well, because now Hera's reaching that level. Okay, and Hera is reaching that level to where he is starting to become #1, a really old commander. Okay, and let me see here. You're gonna have Hera up here. When did he come into the game? He came into the game in March of 2023. Okay, so over 3 years ago, he's been part of the garrison meta. Now, he's fallen off over the last 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, but now he's kind of back. And the reason why he's back is because a lot of people are finding out that the only way you can run an archer garrison right now with Hayam and not get completely annihilated by the swarms is that you have to run them with Hera. So Hera's still there. He's still there running a Hera YSX mixed troop garrison, maybe for OL. Okay, great for your city. I mean, you've got Hera, and he's still there. So he's going on 3+ years now of being involved. No, he's not near as powerful as he used to be. And most of the time when he's in a garrison with infantry or with cavalry, they're going to get absolutely wrecked. But now with Hayam, you got a chance. So we'll see and keep our eyes peeled for how that does with the new archer garrison now that that's come back into the game. Okay, so there's an honorable mention for our boy Hera. And then, of course, I've got to put the 2 commanders that came into the game in the same cycle. Okay, I have got Gorgo and Luce. All right, I know they're probably the newest commanders to this. They're kind of the newest ones, but these 2 guys, Gorgo is the closest thing to a Zeno that we've ever had. We used to use her in the field back when she first came out, okay? And now she's been in the game literally going on, let's see, it's May. It's going on over 2.5 years now. She's been part of the meta, like legit part of the meta. Like, you can't get rid of her. You can get rid of other commanders. You can get rid of other garrisons. You're not getting rid of her. And so she has done insanely well. And then, of course, Luce. Luce's in the same boat, guys. He came out the exact same time. They were in the same cycle together. And Luce is still meta today. Not only is he still meta, guys, he will last longer than many people think. I've always said Luce is going to last longer than BQ in the end. People think I'm crazy for saying that. But I'm just telling you, with his expertise, this transcends. It transcends. It's kind of like an Attila effect. Like, he's going to be used for a long time to come. And he is now over 2.5 years, he is now reaching that honorable mention of greatest commander of all time. Everybody has Luce. Everybody's got a ton of kills with Luce. Everybody uses him even to today. Okay, so we got to put Luce there. So now we're going to get into the top 5 all time. All right. But before we do, I still have one more honorable mention. And that's our boy Martel. Hey, yo. We got one more I snuck in there for you, and that's our boy Martel. Martel, even to this day, we love it. We love sneaking him into a garrison. You go put him behind a Gorgo against a heavily swarmed flag in Kingsland, and you wreck swarmers. You absolutely wreck him. I love putting an artifact on him to make him a cavalry garrison. And I put him behind this guy. It is the greatest anti-swarm garrison you could ever think of. And then, of course, on the counter rallies or rallies that are going to be swarmed down, the term Martilla, you know, we famously coined that because we started using that. And the original Martilla was Attila Martel. I would put Martel behind my Attila and go run a counter rally, and it would give deads. Just way too many. So Martel, even to today, how long's this guy been in the game? How long? 2019? He's coming up on 7 years. He's been in the game. Oh my God, Martel. I'm using him in KVK 1. I've got a meta set of infantry gear. And he's part of the meta garrison in K1 and K2. Martel. Probably the closest to the top 5 of any other commander. And that's why I've got him kind of distinguished as the last honorable mention. Martel was right there, y'all. He was right there. Longevity, still using him today. Super powerful for K1 and 2. Super famous. Martel is there. And now I kind of second guess myself. Should I have put him in the top 5? Okay, but drum roll now. Here is my all-time top 5. For Rise of Kingdoms. Okay, you guys ready? Number 5, Nevsky. Hey, yo, I'm a Cav guy. I've got to, guys. I've got to. How would you not have Nevsky up there? Nevsky, dude, guys, he was so good for so long, a part of the meta for so long. He was the Chin before Chin. He was so overpowered. How long's he been in the game now? In January 2022, so over 4 years he's been in the game now. Look how many freaking kills I got with this guy. 164 million kills. I mean, holy jeez. The great thing about him is he was part of the rally meta for cavalry and the game. You want to talk about taking down Xeno, you started putting this dude with XY in the rallies. He's still got one of the craziest skills. He's like YSG for cavalry. Boosting bonusing your skill damage up to 60%. He's still used today. People still use this guy today. And I know we use him for pass swarms. I mean, you can still use him today. And he was a part of the meta. Literally, he didn't fall off until 10 months ago? Maybe 8 months ago? People were still using him. He was the meta for cavalry for over 3 years. That is massive. Oh my God, that is massive. And so, yes, number 5, top 5 all time. He cracks the top 5. Okay, got to give our boy Nevsky some credit. All right, my fourth and my third one, I really had a tough time with. But I'm going with 4th, Alex the Great. Okay, one of the most famous historical characters of all time. Alex is absolutely amazing when it comes to the game. Great KVK 2 commander, still good in the early game. But then here's what happened with Alex. All right, let me show you guys. Alex fell off. People stopped using, One Alex is one of the most famous marches ever. All right, well, people stopped using Alex. And all of a sudden, Luce came out, and I'll never forget being in a KVK with 960. All right, we were in 2605. Luce comes out, and everybody's using him with CPO. And then a buddy of mine, one of my buddies, old R5 that we had, his name's Bob. He was Bob the Greek. He's a Greek guy. And Bob was like, Chatsky, you got to put Alex behind Luce. And I'm like, what? That's not going to work. And I kid you not, with this effect here, because I didn't really understand it, it procced Alex's instant proc more often. It just worked. It was a match made in heaven. And that was literally over 2.5 years ago. And Alex has still been a partner with Luce up until like the last couple of months that we've gone back to the CPO, because CPO obviously has a support tree now that's gotten the enhancements over here, but many people are still running Luce with Alex. So you think about the longevity in the game for Alex, guys. When did he come into the game? December? Christmas Eve? I got this guy in 2019? Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. It's like 5-6 years ago. Oh man. So Alex cracks a top 5. He got a rebirth, and I think it is warranted, and I think there you go. Number 4 on my all-time list of greatest commanders in Rise of Kingdoms history, okay? Number 3, my original favorite commander. The reason why I got into the game, I used to love ancient Chinese war history, right? I still love it, right? But I played video games growing up like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Dynasty Warriors, different things like that. And Guan Yu, I will never forget seeing an ad for Rise of Kingdoms that had Guan Yu in the ad. And I was like, what is this mobile game? And I downloaded it. I saw it was a city building game. So literally my first year was trying to play the game with Guan. Like, I need to get Guan so I can play this game because I really want to play with Guan. Okay. And Guan had been out in the game for like barely at all at that time. He was like brand new. And so let me see here. I'll come to infantry. We'll look up here at Guan, see when he came out into the game in 2020. Okay, 2020, almost 6 years ago. Holy jeez. He was so good. And you want to talk about kind of a Xeno for the field? Guan Yu was part of the meta for the field for like 4.5 years. And it's because of one thing. He's so unique. He had a silence. He was like the only legit AoE silence commander in the game for years. And it was so good. So good. Like, people used it up until like a year ago because he still did a ton of damage. A 2,000 damage factor. 2,000 damage factor. And then I think he had an extra chance, a 50% chance to throw down another 1,400 damage factor if you hit 2 targets. It was like he did gobs of damage. This is 6 years ago, y'all. He did gobs of damage. Broken commander, stayed meta for 4.5 years. One of my favorite all-time figures when it comes to ancient Chinese war history. Like, this guy was the jam for so many years, and he's number 3 on my all-time list. Number 3 on the all-time list of top 5 greatest commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Okay, Guan gets his respect, gets his due. Okay, number 2. Don't you ever say I hate archers, because YSG, let's go, baby. YSG still part of the meta today. What? YSG still part of the meta today? You bet your ass he's still part of the meta. YSG, and he's even gotten a makeover now. He looks even badder. YSG still to this day is used. You can use YSG with Chen, strongest March in the game, arguably. Okay, with Chen and Zuge. YSG really got a rebirth with Chen, mainly because of his skill damage plus his museum skills with YSG that pushes his skill damage up to 62%, right? So YSG, where's he at? I've got him here somewhere. YSG has got some crazy play in this. Where is my YSG? There he is. 12% more skill damage, all right? And so this dude has been a part of it for years, and he's honestly still not going away, all right? He's still going to be part of it. And people are like, Chadsky, YSG is the all-time greatest. How can you say that? Look when he came out, guys, almost 7 years ago. almost 7 years ago. Just been in the game, dropped out of the meta, now back in the meta. He's been around forever. You can get him in KVK1. KVK1. Like, that's where I got most of my kills, was KVK1 and 2. But I still love him today. I've been running him with Chin. This guy, absolutely great commander. Been one of the OG commanders for a long time. Archer commander. You can't say I hate archers. And that is YSG. So there's your fifth, your fourth with Alex, third with Guan, second with YSG. Those are the four of the five greatest commanders of all time. So who is number one? I'm going to give you a guess, but you're not going to need a guess. It's our boy Attila. Attila has had more impact on Rise of Kingdoms than anybody. Let me explain. Okay, when you go to Attila in the game, he is such a unique commander. He's the only commander that buffs normal damage like he does, buffs all damage like he does. He doesn't even do red numbers. He's literally like the only commander in the game that doesn't do red numbers. It's all white numbers. And he buffs normal damage, okay? Well, when he came out into the game, how long has he been out now? He's been out nearly 6 years. Okay, next month, in fact, we ought to have a birthday celebration for Attila. That's how much I love this guy. You guys know me. I've built the Chadsky brand on Attila because I've had one of the greatest Attilas in the game with my arch formation set and all that stuff. But this dude he was so broken, he was nerfed at the beginning. You see this skill right here, one of the best all damage skills in the game. This originally did not have a cooldown. He was so broken, he was unbeatable. They nerfed him with a cooldown, and he still fought through it. And nothing could stop this guy until a year and a half or 2 years later when they put Xeno in the game. Okay? They needed to combat this guy. All right? Then he faded away. And nobody really used him anymore for about a 2-year period. From about, 2022 to 2024. You still use him for city rallies because it was great to inflict deads on city rallies. But then all of a sudden, a couple of commanders, and I mentioned them before, came into the game. And it was Gorgo and it was our boy Luce. They came into the game. Where is Luce? Am I losing my mind here? Gorgo and Luce came, right next to Gorgo. They came into the game and they did this thing called Smite. And if you click on this, it is affected by bonuses to normal damage. So I'm just telling you, like, I was one of the first people ever to go do some crazy Specco simulator tests. Like, wait a minute. In an Artifact KVK, and we were playing Warriors Unbound, I think right after they came out, and we found the combination. You put Attila in the garrison with Gorgo behind it. It was like my unbeatable garrison for years, for like 2 years straight. My greatest march in an Artifact KVK, the greatest march I've ever run in the game, comparable to the time it was in, was my Attila with Luce. And I'm like, Attila has kind of had a rebirth now. And I've still got old reports from that stuff, guys. But Attila all of a sudden got a little bit of a rebirth because he could carry so much of that smite damage. Well, then what did they do? They gave us combo commanders with Arthur. And when I looked here and I looked at combo attacks and I saw the same thing here to where combo attack damage is affected by bonuses to normal damage, I was like, oh my God, Attila's never going away. He's never going away. They're never going to make a commander that does this much normal damage. Okay? And then inflicts this much normal damage. Okay, on the target. Your troop deals 20% more normal damage to troops with less than 50% units remaining. That's a 50% normal damage bonus. You give him the arch formation, still cooking to today. I use him in the field with Achilles. It's like the perfect march. He's still killing it today. Still, look at my kills with him, 281 million. Oh my God. I really want to, I will give a $10 flux to anybody who can send me a screenshot that has more kills with Attila than I do I swear, man. But this dude, still to this day, obviously one of the greatest conquerors and figures in human history. He's had multiple lifespans in Rise of Kingdoms. He was meta when he came out. He was part of the rally meta for years. Then he fell off and he was just kind of used for city rallies. And then Smite came into the game and he was bonusing that with artifact KVKs. And then Delta came into the game and it's like, you do realize Attila's still the anti-swarm / against the rally garrison meta in the game with Attila David. Like, it's insane. This guy's been out for 6 years and they've done nothing but nerf this guy. Like, nothing but nerf him. And he chews through the nerfs every time. He powers through all the nerfs. The most recent nerf, they took his attack tree with Martial Mastery and you do 3% less combo damage. Oh, God, whatever. I'll take the 6% more normal damage. He just powers through every single nerf they try to do. And maybe we'll get another commander like Attila with our next cavalry. I'd be all for that. Like an Attila 2.0 with tons of all damage and normal damage. You don't even have to have red. I don't even care if it's combo. Give us something upgraded from this. Yeah, let's do that. But he's not going away. He's not going away for a long time. You ever want to punish people swarming you in a rally or in a garrison, you run Attila. Attila is my #1 greatest commander of all time in Rise of Kingdoms. There's your list. Attila #1, YSG #2, Guan, the AoE silence #3, Alex, the longevity, the instant proc, one of the best debuffs in the game, #4, Nevsky, 3.5-4 year meta, part of the rallies in the field, Nevsky there, and then you got your honorable mentions there, Martel right there. He was right there. But those are the greatest commanders, most nostalgic commanders, the best commanders we've ever had collectively. And even though some of them are retired now, we got to put some respect on their names. That is my top 5. So I want to know from you, who's your top 5 greatest commanders ever in Rise of Kingdoms? Put the comment down in the section. You're also entered to win for that $10 Flux giveaway, but I want to know who your top 5 is. So we thought we'd have some fun today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you got some entertainment value out of it, throw a like on here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Join my Discord. The link's down in the description. And with all that being said, you have a great day, broskies.